welcome back to Vanguard League on Overgrowth. This is not the first game, but this is in the round of 16 currently. In the bottom left-hand side of Overgrowth, representing the Terran Nation in the orange trunks, we have Ceonsamea playing for Forge First Gaming.
And his opponent is up here in the top right. He is playing in red. He is also Terran, and he is representing Paragons of Perfection. He is MaNiAcJaCe.
Yeah, man, I'm proud you got that clan tag. We casted something really recently with that clan, but with Forge First Gaming, I was like, I know this, but I don't quite know it. This was kind of like, say his name, and then I guess I'll say what's next. But to start off this game, we see honestly, kind of a pretty aggressive build from Ceonsamea so far. We see MaNiAcJaCe going for the Reaper, but Ceonsamea saying, I'm going for Reaper and throwing down a second Rax before I even do my expansion. So, looking like he's going to get a little bit of damage done to the, not CC for, not greedy by no means, but definitely just a little bit of a less aggressive build from MaNiAcJaCe.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, MaNiAcJaCe does still have that Reaper coming out, which is a little Reaper, faster than Ceonsamea's. Ceonsamea, of course, going for the SCV Scout gets him a little bit more information, but at the cost of... Oh, actually, he does get the first hit off on that Reaper, which is a little surprising given that MaNiAcJaCe actually entered the bushes first. So, Ceon will be able to drive away MaNiAcJaCe from that Xel'Naga tower and just kind of secure a little bit of map control. But the thing is, MaNiAcJaCe kind of needs his Reaper to actually get in and get the scouting off, because he currently has no idea what Ceon's doing. Whereas Ceon actually has been in MaNiAcJaCe's base. He's seen what's happening, seen what's going on, and so he doesn't need that information quite so much. Yeah, and to boot, the one unit at least out on the map currently for MaNiAcJaCe probably will get killed by these double Reaper, and it won't be able to spot the the two more Reapers at least coming from Ceonsamea. He will go up to 4 Reapers, then throw in the reactor on that barracks, so may actually get out more Reapers or Marines, but the natural is canceled, and they will just barely get that Reaper, but he's got to be so careful not to die to these 2 Marines. They almost get that one last one, but they just wait probably 10-15 seconds. They'll be able to finally move in and kill another one if they really want to, because there is no Medivacs, no nothing right now for healing a MaNiAcJaCe. But will Ceonsamea actually can't? No, he won't. Just barely not. Yeah, just a little bit of a delay there, but still a very, very nice one. Killing another SCV. Although this is a lot of Reapers coming out of Ceonsamea. Full 4 Reaper commitment is quite heavy, and actually might pay off really, really well, because a lot of SCVs having to come off the line here for MaNiAcJaCe, and although the Reaper's on quite low health, that won't matter in a minute or so when they're...
Yeah. That's the beauty of the early harassment versus these Marines. The Marines keep getting gradually worked away, and he's got to be very careful not to move up. This amount of 6 Marines will not necessarily one-shot, but almost one-shot one of these Reapers. For now, they will go after this command center, and I was going to say, you can just pick it up and nothing will happen, but so far there has been only 4 workers killed, interestingly enough, because there is 2 more in the mineral line that are actually 3 at 1/3 health.
Yeah, the really interesting thing about this, for me, is that they're both working away at the rocks, is actually more that Ceonsamea still has the faster factory, because usually the disadvantage of Reapers is you get much, much slower tech. Yeah. Whereas, the micro here as well by Ceonsamea is great, keeping all his Reapers alive and just tipping away at the health. Okay, never mind then.
That's what always happens. You're like, wow, so good here. Oh, he just lost his entire army.
Yeah.
What's really nice here with the 3 Reapers, though, in this early opening, at least, is for a very long time, I mean, he's going to have complete map control. I guess not if he loses that Reaper. I take that back.
Yeah, Ceon was doing so well there, but just losing 2 Reapers for very little benefit is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, what I was saying before that was Ceon's actually got a tech lead as well. The problem is he's sacrificed a lot in terms of actual units, so he's going to be relying pretty much purely on his defensive posture, and he's going to need to repair this bunker, kind of stop MaNiAcJaCe from just running past it, and we'll see how well he can actually do that.
MaNiAcJaCe
pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to say, MaNiAcJaCe, about half of his forces were only at half health, so they're going to get picked off really easily. Also, Ceonsamea going for the engineering bay, hasn't created anything out of it yet, but like you were saying, he's playing a pretty gas-heavy for doing a 4 Reaper opening, and both players getting stemmed out. What?
The rally point for MaNiAcJaCe hasn't been fixed, so he keeps on losing Marines to the bunker.
Oh, that's terrible. I know that feeling every once in a while, but like I was just saying, though, the stim pack of Ceonsamea will finish in about a second here. And I mean, if he wants to push out, he's going to have a lot more Marines. And he did lose those Reapers, but that gave him a lot of time to get a little bit of damage done. And actually, he ended up killing 9 workers.
Wow, yeah, that's some really, really solid damage. So at the end of it, Ceonsamea is actually up on 37 SCVs to 22 of MaNiAcJaCe. And that's going to be great for him. He's actually even not too far behind in, actually even slightly ahead in the army count, given how much MaNiAcJaCe kind of sent all the units into the bunker. And that was MaNiAcJaCe's advantage. He has a slightly bigger army. But what with like the bunker and just the defense advantage, he wasn't ever able to, like Ceon wasn't ever in any kind of real risk from that larger army.
I feel like in this situation where really, you always got to remember, now a Stalker at half health, a Marine at half health still does the same damage. So really, a lot of the ability to have so many Marines on half health would really be something of just kind of sieging up. You just wait outside your opponent's base, you can't move in, but if they move in, they're going to be in a bad position because you still have that DPS. Yet when he moved in, I mean, obviously they're all at half health, so they just got cut down so quickly. And also, just to point out, as we were saying, we do see Ceonsamea moving out because MaNiAcJaCe has been pushed back since all his units are at half health. But MaNiAcJaCe also, I mean, he's getting combat shield, but Ceonsamea is getting combat shield and +1 weapons, and he's a lot quicker. And this attack's may do a lot of damage here, even though MaNiAcJaCe has actually a couple more Marines just because he has the defender's advantage.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, and we see a little bit of skirmish, but MaNiAcJaCe has the defense advantage. He has those SCVs, but I mean, I think Ceon's perfectly happy to take the game with the medevacs as well. For what he's got, it's fantastic. Great engagement there from Ceonsamea. And yeah, GG.
GG, as Saber told us so kindly to say.
Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to game number 2 of Group B C. Group C, SL Challenge League. Is B? Is B. Yes, Group B, SL Challenge League Round 16. Got there in the end. Either way, we've got 2 players here in Binary Research Station. The first of whom is representing Forge Force Gaming, the Orange Terran, Ceonsamea.
And his opponent in the top spawn position on Vani Research Station, getting gas a lot earlier than Ceonsamea, who was a full 50 gas ahead, even though his Reaper wasn't. It is playing for Paragons of Perfection, MaNiAcJaCe.
Ooh, yay.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we saw literally MaNiAcJaCe had 50 more gas than Ceonsamea when it came out, but his Barracks was about 5-6 seconds later, so the Reaper nowhere quicker, and he didn't even make a Reaper to start off with it, so a lot more defensive, and looks like he's going to go for some sort of 1-1-1 build. Now, Ceonsamea will scout this with that early Reaper, and SCV is already being pulled. I think he's trying to make sure the Reaper count does not get too high, which it looks like it will again. But at least with this game, hopefully there's going to be a medevac out, because that's really what will save MaNiAcJaCe versus this strategy again. Just having the ability to heal all those Marines instead of being at half health. Which really
I think
versus Reapers.
As important or even more will be the Hellion that MaNiAcJaCe is pulling in as producing now, because Hellion's so good on Reapers. Although, I don't know, before that Hellion does pop out, Ceon has a significant window to actually be able to deal damage, and it's going to pick up an SCV here. But I mean, now the Hellion's there, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Ceon to find damage, although obviously it's Binary Research Station. There's a lot of different angles he can take to hop up into the main. And with 4 Reapers, they actually start to threaten a Hellion quite nicely, especially if they don't get grouped up and take some damage on it.
But really the key here for MaNiAcJaCe is I don't know the key, but he's going to be staying in his base to defend. And so I don't think this Hellion ever will be by itself. It's going to be accompanied with a couple Marines and a Banshee, as MaNiAcJaCe is doing, instead of making a medevac. Now, I think that's a better choice, because obviously your opponent's going to have less Marines at home, and Ceonsamea's bunker is at the front of the base, so obviously you don't necessarily get that in the middle or in your supply line, or sorry, in your mineral line, but sometimes you do. So definitely this Banshee's going to have a lot of opportunity to get stuff done, but it will be spotted by Ceonsamea because he's watching this watchtower. Very nice from him.
Yeah, Ceonsamea using those Reapers, knowing he can't get too much damage done, or it would certainly be a risk to do so with that Hellion in play. He's just going to, take control of the map. He will know anything that passes. He's got basically unbroken vision across an entire strip of the map. So he sees this Banshee coming in. Missile turret isn't quite finished yet, but it will be finished up with this second SCV probably. Oh, no, not quite actually. So that's actually going to be a fair amount of damage. The Marine's going to try and push it away, but oh my god, just one more pass on that missile turret will be able to drive it away, but unfortunately, there we go.
Yeah, he brought enough right there. It will finish up, and there is 2 turrets or missile turrets also in the main that are completely finished up, so this Banshee should get pushed back. And I'd just like to point out from this that Ceonsamea, he's getting his bunker down, but it's a really nice play from him, I think, because he spotted the double gas on MaNiAcJaCe when he went in with those Reapers, and he knew his opponent did not have a natural base because MaNiAcJaCe is doing some sort of 1-1-1 build, which is really teeing off of I'm going to be aggressive. And I think it's great for Ceonsamea, especially to boot not only having that forward bunker, but also, I mean, all his Reapers, or at least 2 of them are on move command, or not move command, on what's it called, patrol. So I mean, he's prepared for any aggression from his opponent, spot it and be ready before it touches him. Except for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so that's how the idea goes. Obviously, if MaNiAcJaCe does some kind of massive push that Ceonsamea really isn't expecting, he'll know that it's coming, but it's just a question of whether or not he'll be able to hold it. I think he's still got pretty decent chance. I mean, the 2 racks that he actually produces those Reapers from gets him a decent amount of bio. And we see he's got 12 Marines now. He's just kind of waiting for the right time to try and actually pick off that Reaper. It's not doing... sorry, not the Reaper, the Banshee. It's not doing a horrendous amount of damage at the minute, although 11 kills.
Done 9.
It has done quite a lot of damage, but if Ceon watches his works a little bit and stops things like that happening, it shouldn't do much more.
Yeah. I think right now what Ceonsamea is maybe thinking, I don't know why you wouldn't pull your Marines back, but he may just be thinking that's kind of, okay, drop in the back or Banshee in the back, pull the army back, and then attack in the front. Now, obviously, he's got a lot of map vision, but I feel like you could definitely, I mean, just 3 Marines would be able to box that out just a little bit more, because, I mean, so far, 11 workers dead, and it looks like the majority just from that 1 Banshee.
I mean, yeah, there's been quite a lot of
couple Marines.
14 workers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Ceon hasn't actually sent anything back to deal with it just yet. The problem is now MaNiAcJaCe is actually pushing across the map with 2 siege tanks, and Ceon can't really spare the units to go back. And oh dear, now he's actually pushing out onto the map. MaNiAcJaCe can see this and siege up and try and draw Ceon into tank fire, but luckily for Ceon, he's just going to back off, not overextend himself too much.
Yeah, what I was going to say right there is kind of the key to defeating this attack is probably seeing the army before it sieges up and stemming forward, but it will be spotted because they have the Vikings and this Raven. Both siege tanks go up, 3 missile turrets get down, and he will start going an attack, but there's a stim aggressively from Ceonsamea. He will have to back up, though. No stim for MaNiAcJaCe, but there is no medevacs right now at all for MaNiAcJaCe, so his units are at the current health they're at, while Ceonsamea's will be able to replenish, and they will pull back for now. And I feel like they killed a lot of those Marines and both Vikings and the Raven, so these medevacs are going to be completely untamed for now.
Yeah, Ceon's Marines are definitely a lot better than MaNiAcJaCe's with stim and medevac support and combat shields. They're just in a whole other class of their own. And I mean, that's kind of the disadvantage of the 1-1-1. You don't have the tech lab on a barracks to spare with upgrades like that. MaNiAcJaCe, interestingly as well, is getting a second factory, so I'm wondering whether he's going to go into some mech style play, or whether he just really, really likes siege tanks. With the blue flame as well, I don't know. Could we see some cool...
I was also going to say for MaNiAcJaCe, the siege tank in his natural will get destroyed by this drop, but he put that down without even seeing it. So, really, really cool play from him. Already anticipating that. I'm not actually sure I was going to say. I don't think
it's going down.
A little bit of indecisiveness, not moving into the proper corner, and it will go down. This is big, but the 3rd base for MaNiAcJaCe is just about done here. Now, I don't think this army is going to go up into the main. We have a heli and a nicely placed siege tank, but they may be able to pick away at this reactor or something like this. But double Vikings will take out one of those, and oh yeah, Ceonsamea's got to get out of there. He cannot afford to lose that medevac, especially when his front is being pushed right now, but they've got to be careful since there's still no medevac with MaNiAcJaCe's tanks or these Marines.
Oh, and MaNiAcJaCe actually has the air control here with that Viking. I believe both of MaNiAcJaCe's tanks, both of MaNiAcJaCe's tanks are actually in range of Ceon's. And so 2 volleys are going to take out Ceon's tank there. He tries to pick it up with the medevac, but it's not quite enough. And yeah, now Ceon's supply depot is going to be busted down. He might even have to cancel this command center, which will be a big loss, especially considering MaNiAcJaCe has got his 3rd already up and running. Albeit, he lost his natural. But now Ceon actually coming in from behind with his own Marines. We're going to see what he can do. And having taken air command, he's going to drop on top of the tanks, at the same time come in from behind with his own Marines.
Oh, a little bit of a miscontrol right there. His Marines originally went up into the main base, but they will clean up the rest of that army. Almost could have done something a little bit better, but right now for the Ceonsamea, his Bioforce is so much stronger. +1 weapons and concussive shells are done. So when he wants to, guess pause for right now, but when he wants to push across the map, it's going to be really scary, especially when MaNiAcJaCe he's relying on these siege tanks, but right now he has no Vikings, so he will not be able to spot his opponent or stop the medevacs from lifting up and dropping just directly on top of those siege tanks where literally nothing can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ceon's looking really, really good hit as well. He didn't have to cancel that command center. That stayed on building. It's going to be it'll have lost a little health, but he can just repair it back up. And yeah, Ceon's looking in a fantastic position here. His command center is going to be finished, or his third command center is going to be finished long before MaNiAcJaCe's. And yeah, everything's coming up roses for him. He's heading pretty much every single way. But of course, MaNiAcJaCe has got that second factory. So the extra. Maybe mech, maybe just kind of tanks and hellbacks, the extra splash zone could well be enough to kind of tip MaNiAcJaCe over the edge. So, yeah.
MaNiAcJaCe just saying he had to pause because of the cat, kind of funny there. And MaNiAcJaCe also, now the one thing that's really coming for him, at least to defend these really, really good Marines in Marauders, is that he has Blue Flame and he's got a couple of Hellions out of the map. So if there's going to get in a nice position, that may be the turning point of this, but it's going to be really key. Are we going to see Ceonsamea kind of hold back and defend this third to get up economic damage? I don't think he needs to do, because he did do economic damage earlier by taking out the natural. Or is he just going to push straight across the map? But for now, he's hanging out on his side, hasn't let anything go from that bunker, and so pretty much is just making sure, okay, I want to get up my third, defend it, and I think he knows he's a little bit ahead, and I think he may just kind of get into a macro game because of that. But actually, for now, he will be moving out now, unsieging those tanks and bringing them along, but the Vikings really need to come along with that army.
Yeah, they'll be at a lot of support, especially given that MaNiAcJaCe actually...
medevacs, kind of.
Yeah, MaNiAcJaCe doesn't actually have any medevacs. He's got 6 Vikings, which will actually be enough to just wrest air control off Ceonsamea. But if Ceon can, snipe down a medevac or two... Oh, actually, Ceon doesn't. Oh, no, Ceon has 4 medevacs. Yeah, see, it's fine. So,
Two of them weren't coming along before. They were just kind of hanging back. And I'd just like to point out the natural base. He's got 2 Vikings, 3 missile turrets, and a sensor tower. He's prepared, man. Nothing's getting through that.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really prepared for the attack up the left-hand flank if Ceon just chooses to take that path. And it's a really nice kind of attack path with the vision blockers. Means you can actually get the drop on these tanks a little bit. Not if you get spotted by a Hellion, but...
The sensor tower, though, only about 20 seconds away, or 10 seconds away. But we do see a medevac...
drop on top of these tanks, though. There's nothing here to defend them, and a full medevac is going to get all on top of that. One of Ceonsamea's tanks does get taken out, as well as all of his medevacs. But... he's still got so much bio left over here to just tear through MaNiAcJaCe's third base.
MaNiAcJaCe attempted to defend with these Hellions, but they engage those siege tanks and just can't do it. SCV's hanging out at the bottom of that ramp. I don't know what they're doing right here. MaNiAcJaCe is desperately trying to hold on. We see the orbital command trying to get back, but not going to do much here. Now, there is a sensor tower. I like the placement of that, at least for a little while. MaNiAcJaCe is going to know where the army is for Ceonsamea, but there's just so much air control right now. He can't really do anything. Even if these Vikings for Ceonsamea can literally just move in. There's no Marines and only 1 Viking. They could just park themselves on top of that army right now. But we do see desperately double siege tank coming out and double Vikings, so he's trying to hold on here desperately. And for now, I think he may, but losing that third is so big, especially when he not lost his natural. Just so much mining time has been lost from this.
Yeah, Ceonsamea did really, really well picking off the Vikings of MaNiAcJaCe, although MaNiAcJaCe did manage to kill most of his medevacs, and the one that is left is basically out of energy. Yeah, MaNiAcJaCe lost all his Vikings to do it, so now Ceonsamea has the air control. A Banshee was in production, is now making its way across the map, which is the perfect complement to, having air control. MaNiAcJaCe, kind of skirting around. Is almost, he is going to lose a Viking for it, though. Ceonsamea takes some damage on these Marines.
I would love to see just his original racks. Now, it was destroyed. I'd love to see just one racks go down and 1 Marine at a time out of that, just because a few Marines will really complement this force, because they do need to desperately get air control here. But I'd also like...
His racks is on patrol.
What? Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, how did he lose that original Rax? But we also, very nice. Widowmine hits these Vikings. Can't be too greedy and come up here or for the vision from the siege tank, but really the majority of the army is bio from Ceonsamea, so he doesn't need that. But also, Ceonsamea is up 25 workers at the moment, or actually only 20 workers, but that is helping him so much, especially when his opponent's confined to only 2 bases. Oh, these Vikings make it a little too close. Nice! Very nice Widowmine shot, but the Vikings of MaNiAcJaCe cannot move out just because it is too much Bioforce here. If it was siege tanks, maybe, but not with the Bioforce.
Yeah, just not quite enough here. And but the thing is now, with those Widowmine hits very, very nicely baited out by MaNiAcJaCe, he's actually starting to be able to fight for air control quite nicely, but some more reinforcing Vikings from Ceonsamea will fairly solidly secure that. Yeah, now he can start picking away at these tanks. That tank can go down quite easily as well. But it's now the thing is, MaNiAcJaCe has taken out that Banshee. He sacrificed almost all his Vikings to do it. But he does vastly lessen the threat to all his siege tanks, and the Banshee kind of trades off for a siege tank and several Vikings, which is still a pretty good trade for Ceonsamea. Ceon, just look at the minimap. He's all over it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if somehow MaNiAcJaCe can push this back, Ceonsamea has added 4 more racks and 3 starports. Actually, I mean, he's looking great macro-wise. And I mean, even if this is pushed back, I feel like he could simply overwhelm with his force, especially when he's got 2,000 mineral bank. And what was that? That telling you?
Do you see what Saber was just looking at? That's a fusion core right there. And Behemoth reactor on the way. 2 battle cruisers at a time. Ceon is gonna, he's just keeping his opponent contained, double expanding, and he's gonna go for battle cruisers. But right now, MaNiAcJaCe is moving down the ramp. There's a ton of siege tanks here, and I'm not sure if Ceon has enough. The siege up is coming in, and very nicely timed move.
Couple Ravens though, hitting with some really nice blanket. Okay, I always forget the Seeker missiles. Every time I cast, I forget the names of those.
Yeah, really nice there, and that allows Ceon to move back in. Having the tank suddenly softened up. Smash! GG!
GG!